In the previous episode, the saint had taken evil dragon deep into the water, and the armored dragon attacked the city. A scene follows in which Ryuko asks the armored dragon for a game. Dragon asks her where she comes from and tells her to go from here. Dragon also tells her he hasn't enough time to play with her. But Ryuko holds his tail and repeats her demand to play with her. Armored dragon thinks that what is wrong with this child? And why is she persisting to me to play with her? People are also watching the armored dragon and girl secretively, and they are astonished at what the little girl is doing. They think that this dragon can be her pet dragon. Otherwise, how can a girl be courageous to stand in a monster dragon? The dragon becomes angry because he can't tolerate people comparing him with humans. He also accepts challenges, as he belongs to the demon army and can't refuse. It's against the dignity of Damon's dragon. He decides to play with the girl and teach her a lesson. Armored Dragon decides to warn the humans by punishing the girl that they shouldn't mess with a dragon. But he is bewildered when he notices that he is in the air, and Ryuko is holding him with her hand. He continuously tells her to put him down, but she has other games to play with him. Ryuko is throwing the vast dragon and considers it a ball. She also has a complaint with him that he is not bouncy. The dragon lying on the floor becomes furious and flies in the air. His entire body is replete with current because of anger. Now, he has decided to eliminate all of them humans with one breath. People are running from here to save their lives, because there is a lightning circle around the dragon's body. Dragon will attack with a lightning ball, but he listens to Ryuko's voice who is at his back. She gives him another shock and he thinks about how it can be possible. Ryuko picks his tail and makes him whirl like a rope and throws him on the ground. He falls to the floor with a piercing voice and people watch the playing with open eyes. Ryuko again says that he is still not bouncy. On the other hand, the dragon has a firm belief that this girl is not ordinary. But Ryuko still wants to play with him by spinning him and falling him to the ground. However, Dragon doesn't want to play more, but she is obstinate and does what she wants. In the next scene, the saint captures the dragon in the water and he's unable to breathe. On the other hand, Ryuko is still banging the dragon on the floor. There is also created a heavy magic shockwave that Saint is feeling. Saint cannot understand where it comes from, and she is trying to resist the wave, but it's tough to confront them. The magic created by the saint broke and they fell from the height. Now both are screaming because they didn't imagine it. Dragon uses his power unintentionally and creates a black bowl in the sea that saves him. This ball transforms into a duck and Saint appears on the giant wave. She is angry at him and calls him an evil dragon. She thinks he has a swim ring, which is why he survives. Dragon tries to clear his reputation that he is not evil, but she is not ready to listen to him. Dragon then tries to go away by using his hand as a swimmer, but the duck turns into a balloon and makes him fly in the air. Now Saint is angry that the dragon is not playing reasonably. Instead, he is using his power. But Dragon is surprised by how he survived again in the water. Saint tells him to come back to fight. Dragon's powers are gifted by Hunter God, helping him in a crucial time. Dragon has understood from the vision that the saint is in Demon's army. She says that he has protected the Selyanin, and if the dragon wants to let her go because she is Damon, he won't allow it. Now Saint has realized that she can't kill him, so she decides to entrap him by using all her power. She uses her power and creates a cage of water through which the dragon can't set himself free. This cage has the power of all of Selyanin's water, so he can't set free no matter how powerful he is. Dragon decides to take help from his magical claws, but Hunter God's face appeared from it. He tells the dragon that you shouldn't depend on me to save yourself every time. Hunter God is in a cave and tells him to calm himself down. He also says he has already assisted him twice, so he doesn't intend to help him the third time. On this, Dragon says you have to help me because there is no Ryuko to remove me from this trouble. So Hunter God is his last hope. Hunter God then reveals that this black nebula will help you out to save you on your own. He has a rule that he only helps his pupil 2 times and then he must survive on their own. Because Dragon did not learn anything from him, he has no choice. Meanwhile, Saint thinks that Dragon was again going to play any trick. So, she puts more power in the cage and the communication system deteriorates with his dragon's master. Saint also plans to drain all his power, which is terrible for the dragon. As she is draining his magic, she also drains the magic of keeping him small. Because of this, the dragon returns to its giant size and the cage is not big enough to bear a giant dragon. Now Water Saint is worried that what is happening and the magic spell underwater has broken. The explosion in the water appears and the saint is upset because she can't keep the dragon in the cage. Now they are flying in the air and the insect thinks that the silver dragon is talking nonsense. We also see a monster within an insect, who was saying that he has to perform his duty, and also saw a dragon on the floor. Ravendia is scared to death and notices that the cage is interlinked to the town square. But Dragon has won this battle. His attention is grabbed by the saint girl weeping and saying, "I'm nothing." Although she is damned yet can't save anyone in the Selionin. She says that she will join the demon army, but the dragon will not hurt anyone in the city. Dragon says that it doesn't matter if you are demon, because you did everything for them and gave them a comfortable and happy life. He also says that you deserve the title of a saint because you are worthy of their worship. Saint asks, "Do you trust that I will not do evil things and save the people?" Dragon says, "I have faith in you, and you should trust me that I also haven't any destructive intentions." Now Saint is ready to believe him and thinks this dragon is not evil. He also advises her not to use town water for her spell, because the people of this city are depend on it. So your effort will be useless without water, because people will leave this town. She says that you shouldn't tell me what I should do, because I'm a perfect saint who is well aware of her duties. On this, Dragon says that your thought will take you toward pride, and she says that I have created a mess here. She also needs to do things right here, and Dragon goes to watch out for Lingzi. He is hoping that Lingzi wouldn't create any problems as she had before. He moves but stops to instruct Saint not to call Mr. Lizard in front of Lingzi. But she is still, and the insect, the death locust, is on her head. Dragon has identified this insect that destroys the field, and he inquires from the saint that she is alright. However, Saint doesn't respond to him and Dragon tries to remove it. But suddenly, he feels something wrong around him. He thinks that the magic protected this town, so low-rank monsters can't enter it. The insect flies from her head, but she acts weirdly and dark blue vibes can be seen on her body. A black wave is moving around her body, and Dragon again inquires if she is alright. Saint keeps her hand on his ears as if trying to save herself for someone. In her imagination, a monster appears and tells her to stop hiding her true nature. He also tells her to reveal to the world her true personality, and she can listen to the voice of many monsters behind her. Saint is overwhelmed by the evil demon and her eyes turn red. She performs the magic by raising her hand. Because of this, the blocks of floor separate and pipes burst out. She intends to drown all humanity with her power. Dragon understood that something wrong. He thinks that what is going on because everything was fine before. So he tells her to stop this magic, otherwise entire town has to face the disastrous conclusion. Now Monster has occupied the saint and she wants to demolish the city with her water capabilities. People watch her in astonishment. She has raised the soil like a pillar and wants to destroy the city. Because she wants to prove her power by killing all of them, and she wants to teach them that no one can fight with her. She attacks with the pile of soil on them, but when it falls on them and they are glad to have it. Now Dragon is also surprised by watching people playing with soil. People consider it sacred and throw soil at each other by making it balls. But Saint says humans are ridiculous because they can't see that they will perish in my hands. She creates a vast bowl of mud that will lead them to hell. Dragon is also confused and entrapped in the mud and doesn't know what is happening. She says to all the people to prepare to face death. Meanwhile, Dragon's eyes widened, and he called Lingzi to help them. Lingzi, playing with the dragon, listens to the dragon's voice and leaves the silver dragon. She moves where Dragon calls her and sees a vast bowl of mud. She breaks the bowl of mud with a single kick. Saint also wonders how it can be possible and yells in bewilderment. When she arrives at the floor, mud disappears with her presence and the rain of mud started. The dragon blinks his eyes and Ryuko is on her knees in the dragon's honor. She says, "What can I do for you?" and asks the reason for calling her. Dragon inquires, "Do you know what you did here?" But she doesn't know because she is in a hurry to come here. He also asks if she was a good girl when he was not with you. The dragon fears she can create trouble with her anger, so he asks. Ryuko replies that she played with Dragon as children do, considered him ball and smashed it repeatedly. She also says that she is going to apart his head. "But you called me, that's why she doesn't." Dragon is surprised at what she is saying, but he hasn't time to understand her. There is another essential thing he should deal with and he asks about the saint and where she goes. Now Saint is weeping bitterly on the ground, because she put so much effort into creating the mud bowl but humans don't scare off it. She again loses in her objective. Now her eyes are still red and Dragon tells her to share her feelings with him, so she can share whatever is revolving in her mind. Saint shares her worst experience when she joined the demon region. She is so excited to learn from them. But people there make fun of her. They call her child and tell her to go to her mother. They consider her weak and it casts a significant impact on her mind. While going through the desert, she sees poor people going to their destination. She decides to kill all of them so she will not become the prey of those monsters. She thinks that they will not make fun of her after that. So she disappears through the water and stands in front of them. She also threatens them with how dare she enters her land. She takes out the water from the ground and attacks them, but it turns into rain and the humans become happy because they have been thirsty for many days. Now Saint is surprised because they don't seem afraid of it and they are taking her light. So she takes out the earth's soil to scare them, but they are still happy. They consider the soil a blessing because they can grow the fields and will not die from hunger. Now Saint is again in shock because she thinks humans will tremble with fear, but the outcome is different. They bend on their knees and are thankful because she is the reason for their hope and happiness. They also say that she is different from others because she didn't ruin them but provided happiness to them through water and soil. Humans also call him Great Saint because she helped them and they greatly respect her. They are begging in front of her to stay there and she feels shy because she comes here to eliminate them. She also couldn't refuse them to stay here and they start living happily in her land. After that, they also construct the city that we call Selionin. They turn the rocky and barren place into a beautiful city. They also placed her statue here and worshipped her like a god, because she provided them with the necessities of life. Saint also watches them behind her statue by worshipping them, although she wants to eliminate them, but worshipping by so many people makes her happy. The scene changes to the present, and she says that I have forgotten that I am demon when they worship her. Saint starts weeping and says that she doesn't deserve their love and worship, because she is a demon. Dragon also feels her broken personality because she has to overlook her proper form to become a saint. It isn't easy and Dragon believes that she is not evil by nature. Instead, she can be loving and caring for her people. Meanwhile, a little girl appears and is worried that how this dragon has become huge. A little girl looks at Saint and she asks the reason for her weeping. She tells her not to weep because she gives us the source of happiness by providing us soil. She also calls her to celebrate their happiness. She says goodbye because her family is calling her. Saint thinks people are making fun of her by saying thank you, because she wants to kill her not to make them happy. She again starts weeping, and both Dragon and Ryuko wonder at how she can think like that. Ryuko comes to her and says that you should be happy because you have given the people the evil dragon. She also says that you should be aware of your personality and that you are a demon. Dragon says in his thought that Ryuko shouldn't say that. Dragon apologizes on her behalf and tells Saint not to pay attention to her words. He also adds that people are happy with you and the quote that you will be known for your deeds, not for who you are. He also inquires what you want to be, a demon who will kill the people or a saint who will protect them like a god. He is also patting her head and Ryuko is getting mad at the dragon's action. She closes her eyes and when she again opens them, she gets her proper form. The demon inside the saint watches the dragon and Ryuko, and he also considers the dragon the mighty one as Ryuko says. Her eyes have turned blue, and the monster residing in her becomes disappointed and leaves her. The evil demon enters the dragon's body through his hand, and the dragon is thinking about what that was. Dragon also feels something weird inside her body, and the evil dragon wants to fill his body with evilness. Dragon is watching her hand when the evil demon whispers to show his true personality. He also says that you shouldn't hide. Instead, it's time to show the world what you are. Evil Dragon insists on showing his bloodthirsty personality, and Dragon is confused about what is going on with him. He looks back, but there is no one except children who are playing the game of Demon King. One child pretends to be a Demon King by wearing the mask, and the other two try to teach him a lesson. Dragon thinks he is listening to the voices because he has gone through many challenges and is tired. That's why voices are audible to him. Ryuko says she realized why the dragon ordered her to play with the children. She looks at the children and the dragon listens to her. She says that dragon wanted to realize what human is and what they are. She again misunderstands and says that this town was absurd because they worship Saint and ignored the evil dragon. Dragon again thinks that her brain is wired because she thinks differently. Further, the dragon thinks he is used to it but needs more time to understand her mind completely. Ryuko says we should go from here because an evil dragon cannot rule this land. Dragon wants to stay here because he loves this city, but he has created enough complications for them. Saint sits in the company of humans and is happy to watch humans pleased. Saint also doesn't need him anymore, so he decides to go from here. He passes the order we should go, because I don't want to create any further trouble for them. When they are going from here, then Saint makes them stop. She inquires where they are going so secretively without informing her. Now Ryuko is getting furious and taking out her dagger, but Dragon makes her stop. He also replies, Saint, that you tell me to go from here, and now I'm going. Saint says that humans are going to hold the festival in her honor, so she would be upset if they went like that. The dragon still doesn't understand what she wants. She clearly says that she would be happy if you both joined this festival. But Saint doesn't want to share her true feeling that she doesn't want to leave them, and says that the children will be sad if they go. She also says that children love to watch animal shows, and if they do not perform they will be sad. She also promises her people that she would no longer let anyone be sad. Saint pleads with them to stay here till the function ends, but Ryuko says that they will not stay here anymore. Dragon keeps his hand on her mouth and restrains her from saying straightforward no. Dragon says they will stay here because they can't see children sad. On the other hand, Saint is also happy to listen to Dragon's decision and invites them to the feast at night. Saint runs away and Dragon is confused at how he should satisfy Ryuko to stay here. Dragon says that as we both know that we still have some tasks here to do, so we should prolong our stay here. Ryuko honors his words and says she agrees to stay with him. Inside her body, an evil demon is trying to figure out the dragon's black side, but he cannot find it. He also thinks that he has never met such a dragon, who implies his dark side so secretively as he does. The evil demon praises his power of hiding his evil side, and he is also ashamed that he was unaware of such a mighty dragon. As he has been living here for some time, the evil demon has time to find his black side. In the following scene, the Adventurer Guild appears and asks the old man if something has happened here or not. His work is to aware the guild if something happens. The older man says nothing is wrong here, because this city is famous for its peaceful environment. So, there is nothing evil. But the Adventurer Guild notice that the road is broken and repaired. It means something happened here, but the older man says that a girl was playing with the dragon, while playing some buildings have destroyed. He is surprised that how can a friendly dragon arrive here. He notes down these things in his diary, and he also asks about the dragon's location. Scene changes to the Silver Dragon, who is mad because people are not showing respect for him, as he is the general of the king of the demon. He wants to crush the human, and when he remembers his condition in front of the little girl, he wants to be a good dragon, because he doesn't want to be thrown away by the girl, and he again turns himself into furious and wants to take revenge. He also fears that she will again play with him if he is an evil dragon. He's continuously transforming into an evil dragon or bad dragon, because he cannot understand what he should do. When the Adventurer Guild looks at him, the older man tells him that Silver Dragon is hovering around the town in this condition. The older man thinks he is rehearsing for the play that will be performed at the festival. Adventurer Guild is composing these things in his diary. He had understood that something is fishy here and should report about it. In the next scene, we see that Ryot is getting tough training from Alliant. He has to draw the vast stone, and Alliant is also standing on that particular stone. Alliant is continuously telling him to move faster when she sees the crowd of people. He is breathing heavily after strenuous training. She tells him to stop there and they go to see what is happening there. When she looks at the poster she is astonished, because they find the dragon in Selyanen. Ryot is assured that he is an evil dragon and wants to go to this city to save Ryuko. Alliant thinks that he cannot be an evil dragon, and if he is not, then who could he be? She tells Ryot to go from here, and Ryot wants to go to this city to save her. She says that this dragon is not what he is looking for, and if he is, then you can't face him. She also says you are not strong enough to face him, because you are in the middle of your training. She tells to draw the stone, and she also decides to check the city to see if it's an evil dragon. In the following scene, Dragon is scrolling the city, where Ryuko feels hungry and she asks to buy something. He also orders her to make a queue like a human, because Dragon is also hungry and wants to eat something. Then he looks at sheep eating grass and is happy to eat it. When he go to eat, then grass finished and screams, and a little girl is watching him. She inquires that your trainer knows that you are here. The little girl gives him grass and he is happy to eat it, because Ryuko is not around here. Meanwhile, Ryuko calls him and he can't seem to scatter his image in front of her and pretend to be sheep. Ryuko thinks she has tired, which is why she considers the sheep an evil dragon, and she goes from here. Now, the evil demon has found the dark side and black waves are coming from his body. Evil demon motivates him to take out the dark desire and accept it. He also tries to make him remember the evil incident that could help him to expose his evil personality. He remembers the event when he plucked out all fruits and nothing was left for anyone. Now he is fighting with the sheep to get back the grass, but the sheep are throwing him away without any hurdle. The evil demon is also surprised that he arises his dark side and is wasting on sheep. After fighting with the sheep, his eyes again turn into their original form. The girl then apologizes because she didn't give him any grass. Evil demon again loses. She says you can find the grass outside the town, because the giant dragon didn't eat it completely. He is surprised by listening to the name of Big Dragon. After this episode ends, watch the video of the left side if you have missed the previous part, and subscribe to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.